Now, I want you to create an expression mat that represents -1. Talk to your partner. Create an expression. Don't draw it yet. Just create it on the expression mat. Difference, create means do it on here. Draw means do it on here. So I want you to create it right now.
Right here. Because if you put it here, or we could do this, just a negative one, or we could do this.
All right. 5 seconds.
Because this is a positive.
Peyton. Expression mat represents -1. What do you guys do?
We put the unit tile, put the red side up on the minus. Yeah.
Katie.
It would need to be a positive unit there because you're minusing not negative.
Subtracting 1, we need this to be positive. We're going to put it on the bottom. Does that make sense? Question.
Because wouldn't it be, if you did the negative and put it on the negative, wouldn't it be negative, negative?
Yes, it would.
Equal
We'll talk about we'll talk about that in just a second. You're absolutely correct with where we're going with this. Is we're going to have 2 negatives if you make that red, and the 2 negatives turn it into a positive. But right now, we'll come back to that. We could have minus +1. So this is -1. Agreed? So let's draw this in our notes. -1. Draw your little rectangle. Put a plus and a minus. Dash, dash, dash. And we'll color in our box to show that it's a positive tile. Now, is there another way to make -1? Bryce.
Could you put the red side, so the negative side, on the positive expression mat?
Are you asking me or telling me?
Tell me.
What do you think? What if we took the red side, which represents negative, and we put it up there?
I think I told you so.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's draw that as well. Also, -1. So I'm going to write or -1. And let's draw another one. And we'll leave that clear to show that it's the negative side. We won't shade it in since we don't have colors necessarily here. So this is sort of an interesting point, because what that means is that if I go back and look at my expression mat, these are interchangeable. I can put the red one up here or the blue one down there, and they're the exact same thing. Which means that theoretically, if I had a blue one down here and it was more convenient, I could just flip it over and put it up there. And it would mean the same thing. All right? Now, here's the last one. And this goes back to what? Ah, darn it. Jonah said, I want you to make me an expression mat that is -1. -1. Now, Jonah already told us this one, so I'm going to put that right here. We've got a red tile on the bottom, so when we draw it, we'll go ahead and we will draw the red tile on the bottom. Now, let's think about the second thing that Jonah said. Did we not just agree that we could take something from the bottom and move it to the top if we flip it over? But that means that minus -1 is the same as +1. Because we can move it from the bottom to the top and flip it over, we now know that subtracting a negative is exactly the same as just adding. So when you see something that's subtracting a negative in the future, you could think to yourself, oh, wait, what do I do with that? Oh, that's one of those things where I just take from the bottom and I flip it over and put it on the top. So these are equal because we flip from bottom to top. Can we see what I've written there? Almost. Go ahead and draw an arrow there and write equal, flip from bottom to top. So the opposite, or negative of -1, is equal to +1. So on page 591, take a look at A24 part little a, lowercase a, or actually it's got a period next to it, not a parentheses. 2 ways to build -2x. 2 different ways to build -2x. Go. Page 591. Question lowercase a right up at the top. 2 ways to build -2x. Remember, your x tiles are light blue rectangles. Light blue rectangles. Right there.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 units, you need 2 x tiles. Remember, you're going to need 2 of them, right? Boom, there's another one. There you go. And they're light blue. There's a purple one, which is a line. Excellent.
Can you agree? These are positive and
Are
then
you saying that they're
negative 2x.
two
Then
separate
positive
ways
means
to dump both
negative.
on the expression mat at the same time?
Yeah.
So you're saying you could add -2x, or you're saying you could subtract.
No, 34, A24.
So they're both negative.
Oh, A24 A.
True. True. Draw them. How we doing? There's one. What's your other one? Draw them.
Okay.
2 separate ones, right?
Yeah.
Not one big map with 4 things on
Yeah.
it. Excellent. Draw them. Separately though. There's one. I like it. Draw them. Oh, you already did. Wow, you guys are way ahead of me. Remember, yep, 2 different drawings. One for one way to do it, one for the other way to do it. Ryder, give me one way.
You have to flip to the red side on the top.
Red side on top. So we got like that and that?
Yep.
Cool. These aren't very big, are they? Let me biggen them. embiggen them. Cool. Aubrey, the other way.
So they have the blue side facing up on.
Excellent. Nice. All right, question B is a little bit more open-ended. 3x minus -4 has many different, it says build 2, but then it says how many different ways can you build it? Well, then build more than 2. How many can you come up with? This is part B for 3x minus -4.
Okay, ready? Okay, 3x. Then minus negative. So that's,
As many ways as possible.
Oh, that's not.
that wouldn't be
I thought
negative.
we,
Yes.
I don't know what that.
How's it fun? D. Okay. Yes.
Wait, didn't they just-
Somebody that's
You're not
good.
doing
That's what I said.
Now you just make.
Okay,
No, because they're going to.
so 3x negative.
Yeah.
1, 3,
I mean,
done. You're gonna draw down. You're gonna draw it down.
Oh, yeah. So wait.
I used to love it.
And then.
I'm going to say that that's minus 3x plus 4. And this is minus 3x with -4. So let's go back over here. Are we supposed to have minus 3x's? Because you need plus 3x, right? You've got minus 3x and minus -4.
I think we should move these two
Or excuse me, you've got negative 3x and you've got minus 3x.
You get the first idea, right? First one. What was the first drawing? Just draw like
So
whatever.
now, you've got 3x plus well, make it one way and then make it another. There's one. Boom.
Negative. Negative.
We can use both.
Of course.
Positive 3x.
Good, I like it. There's one way.
The positive 3x.
You know what that says? It says negative 2x minus 2x.
Oh. 7. Huh?
No, it should be two separate maps like this.
Yeah. I think so.
Because we had one was
You never
negative
see
2x
it.
and the other one was minus 2x. Okay. Yeah.
So these
And
become positive. Because negative, negative. So that means 3x. This is negative.
Way more efficient.
This is negative, this is negative. Yeah, I think we did it. No, we wrote this one.
Minus 3x. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Well, if you want to move something from the top to the bottom, what do you have to do with it? You gotta flip it over to move it. There you go. Boom. That's equivalent. Oh, I'm gonna return this and go get my own box. Now I need more. How many you got? Only 3? I say that there are at least 24.
Okay, or, yeah, this is, these are positive, these are positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, let's get a few. Let's get a few together and then see if we got any more that we can think of off the top of our heads. Everybody looking up front, please. And Jonah, give me one.
So the first, the one I did was 3x and then,
Where do I put the 3 X's?
uh,
Where do I put them? Top or bottom? Plus or minus?
yeah, so you put them both up top,
Both?
all.
All up top. Good. And then, what do I do with these?
What?
My
More and more.
Okay, you're good, you're good.
well, I can't even see my screen. Where? Oh my gosh. Wow. So for like a minute while Jonah tried to explain stuff, nobody was saying, Mr. Harmon, you can't see a thing that you're doing. You guys are like the worst. The worst 5th period of class I've had this year. Also,
Oh, wow.
the best.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Jonah,
Yes,
where am I putting these? What am I doing with them? Help me.
they go up top too.
Like that?
What color is it?
Blue, blue. Light blue, dark blue. You guys comfortable with this?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a little cooler in here.
Another one.
Oh, okay.
Somebody give me a different one. Volunteer, secret.
All of them on the bottom, but red side.
Kathleen.
We could do it, the X tiles, leave on the bottom, the negative side too, just leave them. For the top of the 4, X's, you put them on top, not the one, the unit. You put them on top and you make them positive.
What else?
You should try
What else?
the 2 one.
Baden.
This one.
You can put the X tiles in the positive on blue and then the 4 unit tiles, flipped on red on negative.
Let me make a suggestion that this should have been the first one you did. Because 3x, oh, okay, I take 3 positive x tiles and I stick them in the plus. Minus -4, oh, I take 4 negative 1s and I stick them in the minus side. And from there, start flipping stuff back and forth. Because this is the most basic, straightforward 3x minus -4. And now I can start doing anything else I want to do. For example, negative or minus -4, that gets us to our flip. Oh, 3x minus -4, you mean that's the same as 3x plus 4? Why, yes, it is. Cool. We like that? Now, I said there are at least 24 different ones, but I feel like you guys just showed me like 4 or 5. How could I make one that we haven't even seen yet? Marlene?
One blue on the long ones,
Okay.
and the rest red on the black.
Where does it say I've got to keep all the x's and all the ones together? Do we agree that this is the same?
Yeah.
This one is x minus -2x minus -4. Not simplified. But we didn't say it's got to be simplified. And now we can just start going boom, 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 one at a time, wherever we want them, can't we? We can move another x to the top. We can move one of the ones to the top, or 2 of the ones to the top, or 3 of the ones to the top. But what do we notice as a pattern is that if the x's are on top, they have to be positive, and if they're on the bottom, they have to be negative x's. And if the ones are on the bottom, they have to be negative, but if they're on the top, they have to be positive. And we can just keep moving them back and forth and come up with as many different combinations as we want. Cool.
Yeah.
Guys, the important part here, the thing that really matters the most, get out your highlighter. Get out a highlighter. And I want you to circle the words equal, flip from bottom to top. Because that's what really, really matters out of this, is that we can just take things and just flip them over and move them back and forth as long as we flip them. And when we are simplifying, all we got to do, that's not a highway. If you circle it in pencil, it's not highlighted, guys. You won't notice it. You guys not have a highlighter? Need to borrow one? Here you go. Catch. Oh, there comes one. We got lots of highlighters.
Do you have any different colors besides yellow?
Highlighted in yellow
I have one.
or orange.
Yeah, you did.
But I want that highlighted. I want the words equal, flip from bottom to top, circled in highlighter. So that when you are working on a problem and you're like, oh man, I can't remember what it was we talked about in class, because you know what? Happens to all of us. I've done that so many times. When I was at college, my college professor would say this stuff and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. This is the coolest stuff ever. And then I would get off class and I would go to work and I would work for 4 hours and then I'd go have dinner and then I'd sit down to do my homework and I would stare at it and go, oh, what was it he said in class that made so much sense? That was me in college in engineering. It happens. Some of us, that's how our memories work. So highlighters are your friend. All right. Problem 26. Problem 26. At least 2 of each. 2 of each.
Is it the drum too?
What does it say in problem 26?
Yeah.
I'll find all of
Okay.
The first one is negative 2x plus 4. Let's try to space this. Negative 2x. That's
I gotta write this.
and then plus 4 and then.
Wow. I feel like the first one is just like the one we just did. No, I did it wrong. Look at that. Never mind. It wasn't totally at all like the one we just did. Just ignore me. I'm going to stop talking.
Okay, so negative 3x plus this problem. Let's see what we have to shade. The positives are shaded, the negatives are clean. So I just wrote this right in the, sorry, that's what I did. I have it in here. Oh, negative, positive, negative, positive. So they're all positive. Yes.
My feeling is if nobody asks them, if you ask them,
No, always clap.
one.
Well, that was one. And 2, so.
oh, color is always positive and red is always negative. Because if you notice every one of these, notice that God is always red, no matter what color it's on. His color is always red.
Okay, that's just a basic one.
This
Yes, and then on these, yeah, you leave them white for the negative.
Y minus 3.
Yeah.
I have, but I don't.
So everything's the positive side.
Y and minus negative 2. That's what I see.
We need the Y one. This are the small, these are large.
How many Y's should you have?
Okay.
You know,
You know what?
Or-
We don't care.
So we're subtracting Y minus 2. There's your subtraction.
I have no idea.
You have Y minus 2.
I have no idea.
Negative Y.
So I.
There's Y minus 2.
Negative 5.
You just ignore it.
Okay, well, put these
There's Y
in.
minus 2.
Each of these.
That's
Where's the Y?
You gotta make a
Make
line.
sense? Sure, because then I'll go away, or sure, because it makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause it's not
It's a
inside.
negative.
Yeah.
This is -1.
If you think of that as Y minus
So it's not negative.
2, doesn't matter where you put it.
It is
Y minus 2.
Well,
Why
Put
do
it
it?
on the bottom,
multiply that.
subtract.
You just start with
If I
negative.
put it on the top, then this would just be Y
That's
minus 2.
all negative.
The
Negative.
bottom, that's minus. Whatever you got,
I don't know.
that's a little.
Is this negative Y? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah, I think it's
Is this, that one? I feel like this is negative Y minus 2.
Isn't it because like everything negative?
The whole thing negative. So if you start with Y minus 2, which is that, and you put it on the negative side,
Yeah, you do.
if you were
Wait,
going to
let me
move it
just
up,
correct
it
that.
would make it plus.
Did you say it was equal to plus?
Well, sure, but that's only if you move it up. So you had it up here, so you said, well, I'm gonna flip the Y,
Okay.
put it up here. But don't you have to then flip the negative 2, put it up here?
Wait, these are positive.
Cool.
Oh, okay, C.
That's 2, and now the third one.
Negative 3x minus 4. Well, is this negative 3x? Plus 4. Now, how else do you do it? But then what do you have to do? You gotta flip it.
Okay. Negative Y
Okay? So,
minus
no
2.
more? Keep going?
Negative Y minus 2.
Yes.
So positive.
All right, guys, we got 2 minutes left.
Negative Y.
Tomorrow, we will have a, wait. Yes, tomorrow we will have a quick discussion about this problem and then move to the next problem. And then we will move on to the next thing. Oh, homework. Okay, very quickly, I got a handout for you.
Oh, yeah,
I need everybody's attention, please. While you pack, be listening.
yes.
Everybody looking up here?
Yeah.
You're gonna miss it. I'm going to hand out this for you because I want you to cut out that square and glue it into your notebook. And then do the 4 or 6 problems down here. So I'm handing this out to you. Take one, pass them back, please. You're cutting out the box, you're sticking it in your notebook, and you're doing the problems at the bottom. When I check your homework, I will be checking to see if you got this stuck into your notebook. Yes, yeah. Or not posted it this morning.
Already? Awesome.
I might have posted it yesterday, I don't know.
Put this glue in and do the problem.
That's weird, probably because I made it yesterday. And it defaults to the next day. So yeah, so you were right, I did both. Do tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Do tomorrow. I'll change it. All right, have a good day. Bye now. Have a good day. You're welcome. Bye now.
Thank you.
You bet. John, are you gonna leave that expression mat sitting there, or are you gonna put it back on the back counter? Or was Ryder gonna grab it for you? Oh, Ryder realized his team had one too. Thanks, Ryder. Thank you, Jonah.
Notice how I don't rub it in your face when you eat something, John? Oh. What class is on this? Welding?
Howdy. Could you do me a favor? Could you walk around and grab all those homework keys for me?
Yeah.
So we get them off the table, and I will find. Are these the new ones? Yes. There you go. There you go. Thank you. There. Pass that one on the table back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Morning, Phoenix. Morning, Emily. Take one back. Oh, that's fine. Take one pass back, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, you missed 2. There's a red pen there as well. Where'd you put the file? Oh, excellent, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Aaliyah. Take one, pass them back.
Hello.
Are there people behind you normally? Okay, good. Daniel.
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this is a disaster.
Indeed.
What's a disaster?
My table here,
Quite messy.
I'm gonna have to work on, well, and this is all like, this is completely clean when class started this morning. It's just each class, more stuff gets piled on it, and then by the end of the day, I'm freaking out.
Each day I add one thing that makes it messier and messier.
I spend it like I refill like twice a week.
Oh, I clean my room.
Deep clean
I
twice a
clean
week.
my room once a week.
But it gets like super messy with the like next day.
That's what I do, is I just try to like, once a week I go crazy and everything's put away, but then slowly it starts to pile up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Howdy.
That's nonsense.
Nope, that's right. Oh wait, no, I got a positive 7.
Oh
no, that is a negative. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
I got it.
hi, yes.
Yeah, it didn't solve that either.
Good. Glad to see you finally, to meet ya. All right. What do we have here? I have you right against the window, and normally you have a partner, but your partner's not here. So, although there's a backpack down there,
Yeah.
so is Peyton here?
Yeah, he went back.
Oh, good, good. So you'll be right against the window in that middle row there. You can move his backpack over. And we have a full house for the first time.
I didn't know we were playing.
All right. Homework was called.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, what's your first deal?
you should do all of it. Phoenix. Phoenix. Jonathan. Oh, yeah. Carter. You do all of it, brother. Marcus. Okay, she's crazy. Got one more? And everything for a second. Better visualize. Oh man, I got nothing at all. I gotta look at my list. Casey.
Yep.
Got homework? All right. Eliana. Excellent. Lisa. All right. Georgia.
I definitely
Yeah, this one I didn't.
Did you try it?
I multiplied it right, but I thought it was a positive 10 instead of
Wait.
Oh, I also.
All right. I really was not looking at my list. All right. Andrew. Got him? Carrie. Get him? Doesn't help me, because now I don't have to remember it, Myra. You got homework? All right, thank you, Myra. And Jace. All right, Brian or Peyton?
No.
No? Okay.
I just did the last problem. See,
Okay, just part C?
yeah.
Okay. And you got any of the old ones?
Oh, yeah.
When you were gone?
Yeah, I have all.
Let's get together on those a bit later. Knew your name yesterday. I'm working, look, I got like 100 people to remember the names of. Bianca. As soon as I looked at my list, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Yes?
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember her name either, any consolation. Allie? Got them all? Excellent. Chad's sister? That's Chad. I had him years ago. Cool. All right. So, guys, just a quick reminder. My expectation is you do the whole homework. You don't have to get them right. You have to try. Okay? I will give you all the points if you say to me, yeah, I tried all the problems. But if you say, oh, I only did the first two, or I didn't get the last two, don't tell me I didn't get them if you tried but didn't get them. Just say I tried to do all of them, or yes, I did all of them. I'm uninterested for grading purposes as to whether you got them right or wrong, because that's what the key is for. You're figuring out what you did wrong, you're learning something. So mainly, you tell me, yes, Mr. Armerding, I tried all the problems, I made a good faith effort, boom, I check you off, okay? So don't stop with a problem or two left to go because you just don't feel like it, because I'll say, I need you to do all of them. All right, fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Friday, what'd you think? How'd it go?
Great.
It's good.
I worry when you don't have a math teacher. But from the notes he left me, it sounded like he made a pretty good effort to try to be a math teacher, even though he probably had no idea what it was you guys were doing or trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people need one of these? People who weren't here Friday? He handed these out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Karen Beer, Danny, you weren't here Friday?
Oh,
Karen Beer, get them out? No. Where's yours?
May I have it?
Thank you. My album was in my phone.
When you gave it out, it was like, oh, it was like not even a minute, right?
Yeah, we were going out the door.
Where's your green thing? Get it out. Get it out. Get out your graphing calculator. You got yours, Gracie?
What?
You got yours in there?
Yeah, my green.
Okay. Yes. What's that? Oh. How is it that I know where people's stuff is when they don't know where people's stuff is? I'm just that good, right? That's, where's yours? Ah. Graphing calculators. Who has a graphing calculator? What did they say about graphing calculators? Almost 2 weeks ago. So Mr. Schick has an interesting response when people say, I forgot something. He says, be honest, I didn't really care that much, did you? That's what he says. He says, be honest. Because think about this. Here, show of hands, how many people have ever come to school and forgot to put their pants on before they came to school?
What? Yeah.
Nobody, right?
well, I didn't come to school that day.
Because you care about having clothes on when you come to school.
I hope so.
We're graphing calculators. Ah, I forgot. No, you didn't. You didn't care that much. All right. How many people do not have a graphing calculator right now? Put your hand way up in the air and hold it, because I need to know how many I got. Do not put your graphing calculator up in the air. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Do not have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sitting on my desk. Those are mine. The 7 sitting on my desk are mine. They have to be returned to me at the end of this period before you leave, okay? So, here's what I want. There's going to be at least a couple groups with only one. If you do not have any graphing calculator on your group, go grab one off my desk. So that's you guys? Okay. 6 more people go grab graphing calculators. Yeah. What?
They gave me this in the morning, but it doesn't turn on.
Hey, I will fix it. Probably these batteries.
Your batteries are low. Recommend charge of batteries.
Change of batteries. If you try to charge those batteries, they will explode.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
That's a lie. These ones are
What?
They have a
rechargeable.
thing where you can charge batteries. You plug them into the wall like that.
You put rechargeable batteries in. If you put regular batteries in, they'll explode. You have to have special batteries in order to recharge them.
Jumper cables and car batteries.
Yes. I would put your calculator in your. Okay, I still got one more calculator here.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a calculator? Gracie, do me a favor. Run next door to Mr. Shicks and ask him if we could get 6 more of those. All right. Here's today's plan. I'm gonna walk with you through the stuff on this green sheet. I don't know how much you got. You may have done some of it already on Friday. Doesn't matter. I assume for the sake of planning that whatever I leave to be done on a day that I'm not gonna be here, I'm probably gonna have to go over it again. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just sort of depends. I know you guys also didn't have a whole lot of time because you had the quiz. And then you have a short period anyway because it's Friday and it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for getting rolling, especially with a teacher who doesn't really know the material. So it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. So the way we are going to do this, did I start a live stream since you guys came in?
No.
I didn't think so either. So I think we're still recording for algebra. So I'm just going to stop and restart.